So, ladies and gentlemen, we have Karmelo Anthony. Just saying those words sparks so much controversy, bro. It's like people finding fire for the first time. They just start losing it. People have opinions, man, and people are entitled to their opinion. And there's one person who really took that to the next level, and that's Jake Lang, okay? Now, if you don't know, the other day, Jake Lang came through preaching hatred, basically. I'm scared for my life against blacks. I think blacks will hurt me. I think blacks will hurt your children. We need to change the culture that hurts our white children. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing that Dominic Alexander was doing, and it's just Jake Lang this time. Ridiculous, bro. And I'm really happy that Austin Metcalf's father denounced that shit. Because if you follow this case loosely, you might even think that Jake Lang is alongside Austin Metcalf's father, just for the fact that he has the boy's face plastered all over his Twitter as if they're in cahoots together or something. It's crazy. So I think it's only right that we do the interview with Austin Metcalf's father, Jeff Metcalf, okay? So we're going to drop into this interview and we're going to go ahead and check it out. This was a live stream that we did the other night. So it gets good. It gets real good. And the main thing I want to point out in this interview is that Austin Metcalf's father spoke to the news. He didn't have to do that. He spoke as a man to the news. And I think he's a good guy. Now, on the other hand, we have Karmelo Anthony's family. Where was his father? Do you know how Karmelo Anthony's father's voice sounds? Do you know what he had to say? Hell no. You know why? Because he had his wife, his woman, speak for him. Now, again, some people might say, well, they don't want to speak, or he doesn't want to speak because his son is facing murder charges. Well, then why in the fuck did you have Dominic dumbass Alexander speak, and why in the fuck did you have your wife speak? You're just back there like crying in the background like you're constipated, big dog. But you couldn't say nothing? That's one of the things, man. I have Austin Metcalf's father's voice in my head. I don't have Karmelo Anthony's father's voice in my head because he didn't say nothing. Maybe he could have changed my heart, changed everybody's heart, see it from a new lens. What, father to father? Nope. Quiet than a bitch. But anyways, let's go ahead and run the film. We're going to check out the interview, and then we're going to compare it to the Karmelo Anthony family interview. Let's go ahead and check this out.
My hope was to bring awareness so this tragedy doesn't happen to another family.
One-on-one with the father of Frisco track meet, stabbing victim Austin Metcalf.
Okay, so Mr. Metcalf is
I don't know why I keep putting that L. Metcalf.
JFF and then METCALF. You are Austin's father.
Yes, sir.
Easy question to start with. It's probably a tough one to answer, but how have the last 24 hours been for you and for your family and for Hunter?
That's 3 questions.
Damn, you really can't see no emotion on this motherfucker. I'm not gonna lie. He keeps the same face on. I will not lie.
It's not real yet. It hasn't sunk in. I'm just happy to stay strong so we can handle all the things that need to be handled. Arrangements, people flying in, people coming from all over. So I haven't had a chance to really grieve yet. I know at some point when this is all over and we're able to put him in the ground, then I'll probably break down and grieve that way. But right now I'm really numb and I really don't feel anything. I just have to function, and I need to be there for my son and my family, and I need to make sure I set an example for my son.
Austin obviously is the son, and also Hunter, who you're talking about here.
Yes, sir.
Walk me through who Austin was to you. I know that you've said so much about him, I think, in the last 24 hours here. Everyone else has said a lot about him,
How
too.
do you talk about him and still not cry? That's crazy.
About how great of a kid he was. In your eyes, though, just as a father, who was he to you?
My boys are the biggest blessing in my life. God provided them to me. God's going to get me through this. I had a dream last night And Austin came to me and said, I'm okay. It gives me peace. Doesn't mean I don't hurt, but it gives me great peace. So one of the things, my son, Hunter, his ability to stay strong is a character to his brother. His brother, they had each other's back. They were tight. I've never seen a bond like that. Being identical twins, technically Austin was his big brother. Those boys were my everything. I had cancer almost 10 years ago. I wasn't supposed to live, but that was my why, to fight. And without those boys, I probably would have succumbed and gave in. But they were in my heart, and I fought hard because I wanted to be their father. I wanted to be there for them throughout the years they grow up, and so I can share my wisdom and share my mistakes so they won't do the same. Austin was an outstanding athlete, person, friend, loyal, loving. He would light up the room. He was such a leader naturally. On that team, he would fire those guys up. He would step on that field and he would become a totally different person. His level of play was above most everyone else. He led the team. He was voted team MVP by his coaches and teammates. He's had multiple coaches.
And this is where I feel like, that's where he messed up too. He's used to taking the lead. So he was like, let me get this little punk up out of here, man. Little man. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely that dynamic. Get the fuck out of here. Maybe smack them on. I think, listen, this is what happened, okay? Shh. This is what actually happened. This is just me theorizing here. He did something belittling to him. He smacked him on the back of his head. That's literally the only thing I could think about. He smacked him upside somewhere. I don't think the police report and the witnesses say that that Austin grabbed him. Now, again, Karmelo didn't say he smacked me. He said he put his hands on me. But I feel like something demeaning happened to where he felt like he had to stab him. But shit, I don't know, man.
Colleges contacting. He is one of the most outstanding. Him and his brother both have been athletes all their lives, from soccer to baseball to jiu-jitsu to football. They did it all, and they excelled every time. And I told them, you guys are so lucky because not everyone has your talent, but you have to make sure you take that talent and harness it in the right way. And Austin was able to harness many things in his life. Loyalty to his brother, his love for all his friends and family. He was such an outstanding young man. I was so proud. I bragged on my children all the time. Anyone who knows me knows how much my kids meant to me. They were my entire world. My world's a little shattered.
And this is how I don't see how I feel like you gotta be evil too. There's one thing it's one thing thinking that Karmelo might be innocent because he was in danger, but it's another thing for these fucking people. It's a small group of people, and I see them in my comments, and I'm slowly just removing them from the channel. But it's a small group of people that are happy that the white boy is dead. Like, what the fuck is that? That shit's I feel like that's what's really evil. You're happy the white boy is dead? Why? Because he was a white boy? Like, what the fuck? Man, listen. Those are the same people where there's a black kid who got shot up in their neighborhood somewhere and they don't even give a fuck. They don't post a picture. They don't get outraged on Facebook. They don't do nothing. But now you have this big case that's drawing attention, and now it's free Karmelo. Man, shut the fuck up and free somebody who actually needs to be freed, who's black. You want to go support some black folk? There's a lot that are not Karmelo.
But I still have Hunter, and I always have Austin.
I know that the last day has just been gut-wrenching for you and your family.
John said 3.7 GPA. They're definitely, I don't know. They might bring up his GPA. It's not like an outstanding GPA. I mean, a 4.0 is outstanding. A 3.7, high school, shit, what was my highest grade? We have different forms. It's 9, 10, 11, 12, right? And then college. I think in 10th grade, I got like a 3.6 or something. Long story short, I wasn't the brightest motherfucker in the world. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying a 3 point something is not the hardest thing to get. So I'm not sure if they're going to put that against him. Like, oh, he's the smart kid. He should know better. I think that's irrelevant. I think that's honestly irrelevant. 3.7 is what the advocate guy said. No, but I also heard somebody say he had a 4.0. So I've heard overall he's not a dipshit. Oh, you know, he's not a mouth breather. No, I'm not talking about Austin. I'm talking about Karmelo.
You've spoken obviously to a couple of other outlets. I know Hunter's leaving. Do you need to say goodbye? Or?
No, I told him we're good.
Okay.
If his IQ was lower than a 70, it would be relevant. But they're both, you know, capable of living without assistance. It's irrelevant. You know what I mean?
We haven't really had a chance to talk to you about this. You had mentioned a few times that you had forgiven the suspect for what
correct.
He did.
I do.
But we just informed you about these documents. And
That doesn't change anything.
Okay.
This has to do with me and God. God teaches us in the Bible. He talks about forgiveness. He also talks about revenge. Not for me to seek. God will take care of it. Karma, I believe in it. It's very unfortunate that this other child decided to make a bad choice that's going to affect him for the rest of his life. I have compassion for every human being. This is not, I want to make this very clear. This is not a race issue. This is not a black and white issue.
Oh, it is
I don't
now,
want
brother.
someone stepping up on a soapbox trying to politicize this. I don't appreciate some of the remarks I've seen online that people say there was this fight and they don't know, they weren't there. I know the truth. So, unless you were there, unless you saw it, don't spread gossip.
Thank you. And you know, it's not just the white man saying that shit. If you really pay attention to any YouTuber that has any type of morals and isn't a complete sellout, and that's a good word to use because I just got called sellout 2 videos ago. I'm like, I'm the furthest thing from a sellout, you bitch. Being a sellout would be the people who are supporting this nonsense. Okay? So if you go online, the people who actually have any type of reputable channel are all saying the same thing. Okay? Maybe at different degrees. Maybe some people have a little more compassion than others, but they're all saying the same thing. So, anyways.
Just to ask you this one question, like I had mentioned, the self-defense argument made by the suspect. What's your reaction to that if that's used in court or used?
Yeah, as a defense attorney, they're going to try every avenue. That's their job. The truth will come out. There were too many people that were there that saw what happened. My own son told me what happened. There was never a punch even thrown. So I don't care. There was never a phone broken. We've never had contact with this individual ever. So unless you were there, I don't appreciate all the gossip and all the mistruths that people are speaking at this moment.
Is that shocking to hear or read, or at least hear from me, say that that's what he told police after that moment?
No, what do you expect?
Yeah, exactly.
If you're caught,
you gotta come up with something. You gotta figure something out. Shit, if he fucked around and stabbed the black man in the heart, I bet you he would have said, he stole my phone and broke. Yeah, he would have tried to figure something out too. We all would have tried to figure some shit out. So you gotta figure something out. Well, his problem is he spoke. He should have shut the fuck up and they would have had a lot stronger of a case. I will be honest with you. The police report would have had no witness well, it would have had no statements by the Let's just say perpetrator. That's not the word I was thinking of. But you get what I'm saying? There would be no statements done by him. It's because he was talking his ass off.
Best thing you're gonna do is try to lie your way out of it. Now, I'm not saying he's a liar, but the truth and the facts, justice will prevail.
He should have shut the fuck up.
Has nothing to do with me.
I want to talk about
What did Bruce Rivers say? Stop self-snitching. You get in front of the police. Shut the fuck up, man. Shit. Does he not watch YouTube? He clearly wasn't subscribed to Bruce Rivers, and that's a damn shame because he's a dumbass for that.
charity that the public has really shown, and obviously the complete wrapping of arms. I know that's some phrases that you always hear about when we talk about these situations, but you guys set up a GoFundMe, and a lot of people have really come to the aid of your family.
I am overwhelmed. I had no idea the response that this generated. And my hope was to bring awareness so this tragedy doesn't happen to another family. I don't want a parent to go through the pain I have to go through. Money will never bring my son back, but I have to take care of what's left. And I have support of my friends, my family, my neighbors, the community, people I don't even know, my coworkers, everyone. We had a vigil last night at the church. It was full. It held 1,700 people. Jeez. Impromptu. It was the most moving, touching thing I could ever feel. This is about human compassion. The world needs more kind people. If you can't find one, be one.
Why did Karmelo's father let his mom go up on the fucking stand and let her talk? Why didn't he say something? Okay, you a strong woman, you want to talk, but you're not going to say something too? I thought about that. I was like, damn, you right. Why didn't he say nothing? You have that fucking clown go up there and say all that bullshit, but hold on, there's more. Then you let your wife go in and talk. But you don't say nothing. All you do is cry behind her. Hold on. Let's hold on. Let me do a new tab because I want to watch that video after this. This motherfucker stands right here with his little spotted bow tie, looking like anyways. And he don't say a goddamn thing. All he does.
Let me be clear.
And all he does is go and has a shit in the background. That's all he does. He looks constipated. He don't say a goddamn word. Really? That's what's going on?
My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because
And I kind of like that I started from watching this because I was like, damn, this is actually, are they attacking the poor couple? What's going on? Oh no. After you read that police report and how this family handled this shit, man, your 13-year-old daughter, she's 13. Shut the fuck up. She'll be all right. Tell her to turn on the fucking Netflix. Burn some sage. Is your brother dead? No.
she's fearful of what might happen to her.
Look at him back there, just having the shit. Look at him.
To be clear, the claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home.
Yeah, he's good for one thing, y'all. He's good for one thing. Let me show you what he's good for. Somebody said it in the comments already. Hold on now. Hold on. This is what he's good for. He's not good for teaching his son some fucking life skills, but he's good for this.
It still takes several days to receive those funds once a request is made.
Anyways, I don't want to bash him too hard, but damn it, sir, say something. Like, for the love of God, say something. I don't know. I felt like that was kind of like, you're the man of the family. Hello? I don't even know how his voice sounds. I know how his woman's voice sounds, though. I know how his girl's voice sounds. What the fuck?